Hello and welcome to the Daily Tech Pulse YouTube channel. So in this video we are going to learn about Google Analytics for event tracking. So what is Google Analytics for? Google Analytics 4 is a free tool provided by Google which can be used to measure the traffic on your website and also used to measure what the users are doing on your website. So if you have an e-commerce site, you can measure the number of add to carts, the number of checkouts, the number of purchases. Or if you have a lead generation website, you can simply measure the number of form submissions or number of button clicks on the website. So in this tutorial, we are going to learn about how we can create events or how we can set up events in Google Analytics 4 so that we can measure what the users are doing on your website after they come from your ads or from your organic search. So first of all, Google Analytics 4 is basically an event, works based on the event model. So in the previous Universal Analytics, it was working on the page views. So everything was based on the page view. But now in Google Analytics 4, everything is based on the events. So to set up events using Google Analytics 4, you have two options. Either you install the Google Analytics 4 on the website and use the analytics or JavaScript codes to measure the events separately, which is very uh, tough for someone who is not good at programming or you don't know how to code. So in that case, we are left with one option, that is Google Tag Manager. Google Tag Manager is basically built for marketers um, who are not well versed with programming. So today we are going to learn about how we can use Google Tag Manager to measure events on your website. So let's go. First, we will make sure that the Google Analytics 4 is installed on our website. So what we will do is we will copy this Google Analytics measurement ID, and inside our Google Tag Manager, we will create a tag here, and this will be a Google tag. I will put the tag in here, and then I will name this tag as GA4 config all pages, because this is firing on all pages of your website. So before moving further, you have to make sure that you have installed the Google Tag Manager script on your website. So we can also use this Google Tag Assistant Chrome extension to verify that the Google Tag Manager is installed on the website. So as you can see, this is the Google Tag Manager I'm using, and here Google Tag Manager ID is this one, which is matches with the one that is on the website. So next, let's go to the website here, and I want to measure when someone clicks on a button on this page. Let's go to a different page here, and let's see if we have a button here somewhere. Let's see if we have this load more button here. So I want to measure this option, this load more button. What I will do is, because this is a button, so I have to click on this, right click on this load more button and click inspect, and I will look for a unique class or unique ID that is associated with this button. So in this case, I can see that here the unique class is load dash button. So if you don't know how to do this, you can also use a different method. What you need to do is go to the variable section here, and inside the variables you have built-in variables, and then you have user-defined variables. So let's configure the built-in variables, and from the built-in variables you will have to enable all the click variables, and then we will also take this form variables for later use. And what I will do next is I will just click on this preview here, and I will add this website link here in the preview section. Before moving further, I will create a trigger as well here. It will be all elements. It will be a click trigger. I will rename this as all website clicks here, and then what this will do is this will track all the clicks on your website. So now this text is connected. What I will do here is scroll down, and from here I will click load more. And once I click here, I can come into the preview mode and click on this click event, and then I will go to the variable section here. And inside the variable section, I can see that there is no click ID, there is no click target, there is no the click text, it has load more, and if I check it, the click classes, it is load button. So what I will do is I will make sure whenever someone clicks a button that contains a click clause with load button, it will trigger my event. So let's go here in the tag section here. What I will do is I will copy this, or you can you can do is you can simply create a variable here for your GA4 event, GA4 measurement ID, GA4 ID, and this will be a constant variable. So I have added this variable here, and I will click save. Next, what I will do here is Google Analytics for event here, and I will select the GA4 measurement ID, and I will click add. Let's say I will name this as load more clicks. And from the trigger section, I will create a new trigger for all elements, and then load more. From here I will select some clicks, and the click classes, we can check here, the click classes is equal to or contains a load button here. So whenever someone clicks a button that contains the click classes as load button, it will, I will rename this as this one, and let's see if it's working or not. So to see the data in GA4, I will go to the settings section here, and then I will go to the debug view here, because I'm debugging here. So I will click on the preview button here. This will preview the changes that I just made in GTM. And if I click here in the preview section, as you can see, the config is fired, and you can also see the data started coming in here. And now I'll go to this and click on load more button. So once I click on this event here, I can see that on this click, the GA4 event load more tag has fired successfully, and in the analytics section, I can verify that the load more clicks event has recorded. So this is how you can measure a button click in GA4 using Google Tag Manager. So next, what we are going to do is we are going to, for example, we have these social media links on our website, and I want to measure how many people are clicking on each of the social media icons here. So we have Facebook, we have Twitter, and then we have Instagram. So the difference between these two is these two clicks. For example, in the load more section here, this I have tracked using the ID, the button ID. But these social media links, they contain unique links like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So what I can do is I can inspect here, right click and inspect. I want to check for a specific ID or class. As you can see here, we have this class associated here like TSI Facebook, and then we have for Twitter we have TSI Twitter, and then for Instagram we have TSI Instagram. So we can measure this using a different method. First we learned that how to measure this with the class for the load more button. Now we are going to measure this using link clicks, because this is a link, so it takes to a different website. So what I will do here, I will rename, or I will copy this tag here because we have already created one, so we don't have to create another tag. Social link tracking, and I will rename this event as social media links. So here I want to measure all three links with a single tag. I'm not creating a separate tag for each of the social media icons here or social media links here. I'm going to use single one. So what I will do is I will remove this trigger. I will create a new trigger, and in this time I will not go for all elements because I have already shown you this thing in the previous step. I will go for the link clicks, and in here what I will do here is look for the click URL, and I will select images regex. So in here I will write Facebook, because if you hover over here you can see this facebook.com, you have twitter.com, and you have instagram.com. I will create regex here, Twitter or Instagram, and then social media clicks. So this means that whenever someone clicks on a link that contains either Facebook, Twitter or Instagram, it will fire this tag. And now how will I differentiate which of the event is clicked or which of the social media link is clicked, because I'm just sending social media links here. For that purpose I will send an event parameter here. I will send it as event action, and I will send this as click URL. So by using the click URL you can identify in GA4 whether it's Facebook link is clicked or Twitter or Instagram link is clicked. So I save this and then I will preview this change. Let's test whether this tag or this event is working or not. So we will wait for the preview mode to work. As you can see, the preview has worked. So what I will do here is I will just click on one of the link here, like Facebook, and I click on this link click option here. As you can see that this tag has fired. You can also verify the data in here. And inside the Google Analytics, let's see if the event is recorded or not. As you can see, the event is already recorded, and in the user properties or in the event action, I can see that this is the Facebook event that is clicked. I will test the other two as well. And now in Google Analytics 4, so the event, it will be a single event, social media clicks, but inside the social media clicks, I can see the Instagram.com is clicked. And then for this one, as you can see, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So by using a single tag, we have tracked all the links, social media links on our website. So if you don't want to use, or if this is complex for you, you can also create separate tags for each of the links. Like this will be, in this case, the trigger will be changed. In this case, click URL contains Facebook, and then you will create for Twitter and then for Instagram. So this is how we can measure link clicks or social media clicks on a website. And then the next, so here for example, one more thing, we have the social media links at the top header here, and we have also in the footer. So it doesn't matter whether it's on the top or it's on the footer. If I click in the footer section here, it will also measure the event, social media tracking, and inside the GA4 you will see another event coming in as social media clicks. This is taking a while, so we are going to skip this, but it will show up in here because we have already clicked there, and you can see in the preview section here. So let's go to another most important event, that is form tracking. So if you have a form on your website and if you want to measure how many people are submitting the form, then in that case you can also use Google Tag Manager to measure the form submissions. So let's click on the submit button. As you can see, we have some fields required that needs the input values. So if I click on this here, let's go to contact here, and in the preview section the contact is working. Click on submit, and in the variable section we have the click classes as WP form submit contact click ID. We have this one, but we do not want to measure when someone clicks on the submit button. We want to measure the actual conversion here, so we want to measure when someone actually submits this form. So let's test how it works. So whenever I submit this form, this is not redirecting to a different page, but this is just displaying a message. So what I will do here is, because this doesn't reload, or this doesn't redirect to a different page. So what I can do here is I can use the element visibility trigger in Google Analytics 4. Like whenever this message appears, I will fire the tag for the form submission. So I will click inspect here in this case, and as you can see here, I will look for the specific class name here. As you can see, WP forms confirmation container full, or this is the unique ID for this container. So I will copy this unique ID here, and then I will navigate back to Google Tag Manager. Then I will copy this existing tag here, and I will rename it for contact us, and I will rename this to contact, or simply generate lead in terms of marketing. And from the triggering section here, I will remove this trigger, and I will create a new trigger for the form submission. And in this case, because we don't have a different URL for a thank you page, we have just a message displaying thank you for contacting us. So what we are going to do is, whenever this message appears, we are going to track submission. So in this case, we will have select the element visibility here, and we will select the ID here, because as you can see here, for this container, for this green container, if you inspect here, we have a unique ID here. If you don't have a unique ID, in that case we can use this class here. So what I will do is I will copy the unique ID here, and I want to fire this once per page. This will be minimum percent visible, so whenever 50% of this, I want to fire the conversion whenever this container is shown on the page 50% or more. Go back to GTM, and then I will click on observe DOM changes, and I want to make sure that this only fires on this page, on contact me page. So what I will do is I will copy this contact me here, because I want to be very specific. So if you have multiple contact form submissions or multiple forms on your website, then it will be difficult. So that is why what I'm going to do here is page path contains contact me and then contact us. And then I will save this, and then I will save the tag, and I will click on the preview to test whether the contact or generate lead event is working or not. I will go to the contact page, and then I will again submit this form. So now this form is submitted. In the GTM preview mode, you can see the element visibility trigger appears, and then the GA4 contact us event has fired, and we can verify in GA4 debug view that the generate lead event is fired here. So this is how you can measure form submission on your website when you don't have a unique thank you page, when you have just a simple message, pop-up message. So if we have a unique page view, for example, if we have a unique thank you page, in that case what we will do is we will not use this element visibility trigger, but we will only use the page view here. And in this case what I will select is I will enter the URL of my thank you page, and then I will save this. So this will track the form submission on the website. So let's go back to the GA4 in here. So you can later, GA4 takes up to 24 to 48 hours to process and display the data. So after 24 hours you will be able to see the events in here in your GA4, or you can also click on the report section here and then click on engagement and events. So you will be able to see all the events in this report here. So one more thing, if you go to the admin section and then click on data streams and then click on this here, and if you look at enhanced measurement option here, you will navigate here. So Google Analytics 4 by default measures some of the events, for example scrolls or outbound links or site searches, form interactions. If you have a YouTube video on the website, it will measure the interactions and file downloads. So these are the by default events being measured by Google Analytics 4. So if you want to measure this scroll depth on your website, so you don't have to do it using Google Analytics 4 because it's already done through the enhanced measurement option in GA4. Similarly, if you have a YouTube video, in that case GA4 also by default measure the engagement with the video. But if you want to measure it using Google Tag Manager, so in that case I recommend you turning these options off from here and then clicking save, so that you do not receive duplicate data in your Google Analytics 4. So this is how you can actually measure events in your Google Analytics 4. So if you have a question related to GA4 events, or if you want me to cover a specific topic related to GA4, you can comment in this video, and don't forget to subscribe this channel for more related videos. Thank you.